All'attacco!
8,000 casualties. The Italians over 50,000, possibly even 60,000. Cadorna believed he was winning the war of attrition, which he kind of was, since the Austrians were also fighting Russia and Romania and just didn't have too many troops to send here. He began planning for another battle that would come before winter set in and prevented new offensives. The Italians were actually making headway elsewhere this week. A dispatch from Rome this week told of them moving from Avona on the Salonika front, in a region with really poor communications. The reports on attacks said they'd taken Isonzo more than 50 kilometers from Avona toward Monastir, and they were advancing towards Lake Lori, where the Bulgarian right wing was. They'd obviously driven back the Austrians, who had held the region. There were other Allied advances there this week, and on the 10th, the British cut the Ceres railway. The Bulgarians fell back to the hills. But the Bulgarians were advancing into Rogia on the southern Romanian front. Actually, on the 8th, Berlin announced that the enemy was in retreat in both Dobruja and Transylvania. This was kind of true, except the Romanians still held positions in the Maros Valley. German General Erich von Falkenhayn, commanding the German forces in Transylvania, had numerical superiority and better railway access. By the 12th, he was facing the Romanians in the Torsberg, Trebiau, and Buzău passes and forcing them back. The 13th, however, came the best news the Romanians had had in weeks. The Germans had been stopped and forced to retreat in both the Trebiau and Buzău passes. Could the Romanians hold off the Germans in the Torsberg pass? They could not. On October 13th, Falkenhayn drove through Torsberg Pass to Rikar, 10 kilometers within the Romanian borders. But the Germans were being pushed back in the west at the Somme. The combined French and British attack there the 7th was pretty big, even though it was only the preliminary for British Commander-in-Chief Sir Douglas Haig's push towards the region north of Cambrai. French and 6 British divisions attacked. In general, the attack was a failure. The weather had prevented the big guns from having time to spot German trenches and batteries. The British did manage to take the slaughter, thanks to an effective creeping barrage preventing the Germans from getting their weapons into play. On the 8th, 2 Canadian divisions of the reserves tried again to take Regina Trench, but failed as they had back on the 1st. The German barbed wire had not been cut by artillery in many places, and the German machine guns took care of it. On the 12th, 5 divisions attacked the Transloy Line's outer defenses. They too failed to take their objectives, and the commander-in-chief was pretty much because practice scattered machine guns all over shells. They just couldn't take them out with artillery. However, the new soldiers advancing at Gidencourt were too quickly under the creeping barrage. One of them was killed by their own artillery. The grinding casualties seriously weakened much of the British Fourth Army, but to General Sir Henry Rawlinson's credit, the attacks on the 12th finally opened his mind to a he wrote this in his diary. There were fire uncut, distant machine gun fire, and strong counterattacks. But the fact is that the boss put up a better fight in this time, and until we can reduce his resistance further by shaking his morale, we shall not, I fear, drive him out of his present line. Rawlinson summarized the reasons for failure. 1. Absence of supply, attacking only between noon and 3 p.m. 2. Difficulty of observation. They moved under the creeping barrage, and 1 in 10 of them was killed by their own artillery. Grinding casualties by this time seriously weakened much of the British, but the Germans had repulsed. The attacks on the 12th finally opened his mind to a new truth. This in his diary. There were numerous cases of fire uncut, distant machine gun fire, and strong counterattacks. But the fact is that the boss put up a better fight of it this time, and until we can reduce his resistance further by shaking his morale, we shall not, I fear, drive him out of his present line. Rawlinson summarized the reasons for failure. 1. Absence of supplies, attacking only between noon and 3 p.m. 2. Difficulty of observation. Because of poor weather, but it was also the loss of the commanding position on the ridge as the men moved forward to the southeast. 3.
Avanti, Sabah!
Clearly defined starting trenches Attenzione, ragazzi! To build better railways, to get more ammo to the front, for more men to enlist or be conscripted, and lastly, that an ordinary winter would not put a stop to British advances. He also believed they had to keep couldn't say how close
Dategli addosso! Ora!
they were a fair bit of the way there, so don't give up. The attacks will continue. And it reach the end of the week. Still going in the short battle on the Italian front. The Germans pushing into Romania and the Bulgarians pulling back into Poland. Germans putting up a hell of a fight, and without weakening their morale further, they would not back. At least he finally realized that the superior king had yet to do so. Keep counting and counting, counting away at the time. That magic moment happened. Orange winter closed him in to the extent that it was a moot point. Three options. Time being, he chose the first one. If you'd like to learn more about the architect of the Battle of the Somme, you can click here for... It's almost monotonous, but please support us on Patreon. So he was called the Butcher of the Somme and seen as the embodiment of the donkey that led the British lions to their deaths, but was also known as the Good Soldier and the Architect of Victory. He was admired as a steadfast gentleman, but criticized as being totally incompetent in the use of modern technology. Perhaps no general in British history, perhaps the Great War itself, has had as much controversy attached to his name as Sir Douglas Haig. Welcome to a Great War bio special about Sir Douglas Haig. Douglas Haig was born June 19, 1861 in Edinburgh, Scotland. His father was a wealthy whiskey magnate. Now, Haig grew up in the Victorian era when technology really began to create the modern world, an age of imperialism where the glorification of the military stood in contrast to burgeoning social reforms and more modern political attitudes. He was educated at Sandhurst Military Academy, and the rich, confident, well-educated young man joined the 7th Hussars in 1885 at Aldershot. This unit was one of the oldest and most distinguished units in the British Army, but also one that followed aristocratic traditions, accepting only gentlemen. In December 1886, they were sent to India, and a world not only wildly different from anything Haig had seen before, but one where alcoholism, disease, and British brothels were the ruin of many a young soldier. Not Haig, though. He was very strict in following his gentleman's code. Next stop was the Sudan in 1898. Now, in 1885, an Islamist cult led by the Mahdi had dealt a blow to British pride at the siege of Khartoum, which had resulted in the death of General Charles Gordon. And the Mahdi was still out there. But with modern weapons, a British and Egyptian force of 25,000 defeated the Mahdist forces 3 times their size. These desert battlefields were the proving grounds of several British legends like Herbert Kitchener and Winston Churchill. Haig would have his baptism by fire there in close combat. Kitchener and Haig were actually sort of cut from the same cloth, and their paths would cross many times. After the Sudan, though, Haig was sent to join General John French and fight the Boer Wars. French and Haig were quite different in character. Haig was rather reserved, unsocial, and introspective, while French was anything but that, as we described in his own bio special. French fell repeatedly into debt, which threatened both his career and his status as a gentleman. Haig helped him out, and in return, French boosted Haig's reputation throughout the wars. Those were anything but typical warfare, and were most often a series of guerrilla